Oh, hello. Uh, you know, I, I really wish we were together. That's something that is missing, being together. But before we begin tonight's ceremony, I have an invitation for you guys. So, from graduation, you'll have memories. But this graduation in particular is entirely unique. You guys put up with so much stuff. And we put together a one-of-a-kind show for you. It'll be some surprises and it'll be fun. But if you go to the place that I just went to a lot, which is genuine, I miss you guys. That's okay. Come back and watch what's happening, because what's in this unique bit of time is going to be your memory. My memory from graduation was a joke about mashed potatoes and peas, and it made me laugh and it made me feel good, and that's what I remember. So look for that moment now. What is it that you're going to remember? And honestly, it'll probably be better than mashed potato and peas. So, let's begin. All right, it's a take. This is Zoom, right? Cool.
Mrs. Wallach, distinguished guests, members of the faculty, graduating students, ladies and gentlemen, we wish to welcome you to the 2020 virtual convocation of Pierrefonds Community High School.
My name is Gary Malalou.
And my name is Widlin Othello, and we will be your grand marshals for this event. Prior to our national anthem, we would like to acknowledge that Pierrefonds Community High School honors, recognizes, and respects the Ganyan-Gehaga people as the traditional stewards of the lands and waters on which we meet today, and recognizes that this land has long served as a site of meeting and exchange amongst nations. Nous désirons reconnaître que l'école secondaire Pierrefonds Community est située sur le territoire non cédé du peuple Ganyan-Gehaga. L'école secondaire Pierrefonds Community honore, reconnaît et respecte le peuple Ganyan-Gehaga à titre de gardien traditionnel de l'eau et des terres où nous nous réunissons aujourd'hui et reconnaît que ce territoire a longtemps servi de lieu de réunion et d'échange entre les nations.
It really is a great honor for me to introduce our next speaker. This woman was asked to bring two distinct and proud schools, two student populations and personnels together. Considering the losses everybody felt at that time, it's amazing that she has led us to become one grand community, a community that has become greater than we all could have hoped for a year ago, really. And she did it while wearing an infectious smile and sharing love. I introduce to you the principal of Pierrefonds Community High School, Mrs. Cindy Wallach. You will be missed, and we are excited to hear you.
Students, parents, and guardians, teachers, and staff, It is an honor and privilege to be part of this virtual celebration of the first graduating class of Pierrefonds Community High School, the class of 2020. I want to start off by congratulating the students and the teachers and staff, as well as the parents and guardians who worked so hard to bring you to this day. You deserve so much more than we can give you today. You have worked diligently towards this moment, and we know it is not the ending you want or what we wanted for you. Hopefully this virtual convocation will be a memory for you that will last a lifetime. Some of you have been at PCHS for your entire high school years, and some of you, like me, were only here for 1 year with the amalgamation of the two communities. During this time, you have made new friends, classmates, and teammates. I hope they will remain part of your life forever. I have watched you grow this year, and I know how hard you worked to reach your goals. Graduating today is a major step in the journey of life. It is a major accomplishment, a testament to your personal commitment, and definitely an act of pride. I know this seems like the end of something, but it is actually the beginning of the rest of your life, a career, vocational education, or continuing on to college and university. When I was a little girl, maybe 7 or 8 years old, I would bring other children in the neighborhood into my porch to play school. I would teach them and give them report cards. I had a chalkboard in my basement where I continued to play teacher, even when I was alone. I loved to teach, even back then. I went to college and I became a teacher, and I began a career in education, living my dream. I decided that I loved what I did so much as a teacher. What if I could do this with an entire school community? And I stepped out of my comfort zone and became a principal. I am telling you this because I had an amazing career. It was amazing because I was able to do something I loved and was passionate about. It is important for you to find your passion. If you can discover this, you will never work a day in your life. Without a doubt, there will be challenges along the way in achieving your aspirations. To quote Michelle Obama, you should never view your challenges as a disadvantage. Instead, it's important for you to understand that your experience facing and overcoming adversity is actually one of your biggest advantages. In other words, to quote another famous person, Oprah Winfrey, there is no strength where there is no struggle. Each one of us grows when we face our biggest fears and obstacles and conquer them. We are all proud of you today for this major accomplishment in your education. We're also proud of you for so many ways outside of the classroom. Every day you were here. I would see students supporting students, helping each other academically, being great teammates, providing emotional support, or just being there for a friend in need. There was a true sense of community. Your incredible qualities of caring went beyond the walls of this building. During the pandemic, many of you reached out to give a hand to people in the neighborhood who needed help in the time of crisis. This act of kindness and selflessness not only builds character, it reveals character. You have made us all proud of you. In closing, be true to yourself and your dreams and goals. Be the best you can be and always shoot for the stars. Congratulations, class of 2020 of Pierrefonds Community High School.
Thank you, Mrs. Wallach. It is now my pleasure and honor to introduce to you a student who has contributed greatly to our community. Last year, he had the student community's interest at heart while being on the School Fusion Committee. And this year, by giving us daily announcements that kept the student population informed. And always, by being the kind of kid who makes a positive difference to us all. I introduce to you the class of 2020's Salutatorian, Timothy Wiesner.
Welcome parents, teachers, administration, and especially Pierrefonds Community High School's first ever graduating class. Today we have gathered virtually to commemorate the last 5 years over which we have successfully completed our high school experience. Friends, we have worked very hard over the course of our high school journey, from stressing over science tests to learning the quadratic formula, to waking up in the middle of the night realizing that you have an English assignment due the very next day. You've hardly started. Each and every one of us have been able to pull our act together long enough to make it to this moment. Although I can't say that our senior year was fantastic, thank you global pandemic, I can say that it was special. When we started our chapter back in grade 7, none of us knew that we were going to be graduating at Pierrefonds Community High School. No one knew that this would become a place that many of us would be able to call home. Although we all started off in different places, there are multiple common denominators that come to mind when I think of the collaboration project between Riverdale and PC. The most obvious are the teachers. The teachers who are truly wonderful have been with us through the good times as well as the bad. Not only did they help us learn about the life of Samuel de Champlain, but they also taught us how to be better young men and women, to think outside the box, to be patient, and to enjoy life. Speaking of which, I'm sure that patience part may not have always been super easy with me. Our teachers put so much time into making sure that our high school experience was special, like playing guitar with Mr. Collins during Take 20, or how Mr. Sino would open up the gym for us at lunch. The extracurricular activities inspired students to find their passion, whether it be in sports like the basketball team, in theater like the school play, Boys to Men, and Girls Club. These activities provided a place for us to grow, to experience community, and allowed for a safe space in our darkest moments. But it wasn't just outside the classroom though. In them we had some fantastic opportunities as well, like that time that we all got shocked in Mr. Collins' room by that Van de Graaff generator, or dissecting lamb hearts with Miss Buffett. And of course, we mustn't forget Friday night math night with Miss Bernardin. There are not many schools that can boast a true spirit of openness, diversity, support, and kindness the way ours does. Whether it's getting a hug from Miss McCurgo, getting life advice from Miss Donovan, or tuning in to our mental health with Mr. Maliu, our teachers and students will always be there to support you when you need it. We need to remember that today does not only belong to the students, but to the teachers and the parents who have watched us grow over the last 5 years. You've stuck with us through thick and thin. We love you. Thank you for all of the hours you've spent with us, as well as putting up with our countless shenanigans. There's a quote from a popular TV show called The Office, which says, "I wish there was a way to know that you were in the good old days before you've actually left them." In the future, we will look back on these past 5 years as being the time of our lives, our very own good old days. Only that isn't exactly true. I mean, those days don't just come around once. The journey does not end here. We have our whole lives ahead of us. There's still so much more for us to discover, and we will create so many new and special memories throughout our entire lives. Right now, we are living through the biggest time of uncertainty that the modern world has ever faced. What's interesting is that when we are in times of crisis, we finally begin to see all of the injustices of the world. We shed a light on the issues that matter the most and that need immediate attention. We now have a very unique opportunity to seize our chance and watch change unfold before our very eyes. Will you join me? Will you stand with our brothers and sisters as we fight against the injustice that this world throws at us? Each and every one of us has the opportunity to make a difference. Barack Obama once said, "Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time." We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. Amidst all this uncertainty, one thing is clear to me. We're closing a chapter in our lives and beginning a new one. So don't be sad for what we missed. Be happy for what we had. Don't be bitter for moving on, but look to the future and the glory it may hold. From the very beginning of high school, we all strive to get to this very destination, our graduation. But this is not the moment that we're going to remember for the rest of our lives. It's the journey that brought us here. The friendships, the laughter, and the hard work. We are finally at the end of this long journey. So go out into the world, take a chance, enjoy life. Class of 2020, we made it. Congratulations.
Thank you, Tim. Please allow me now to introduce the Muses, who will be performing a tribute song titled Changing by John Mayer. Directed by Mrs. Megan Guyver, vocals, acoustic guitar, and drums by Tyler Jubrowski, harmonies by Sonali Patel and Gina Di Blasio, piano by Massimo Di Pietro, and special guest Kai Kanson on electric guitar. Enjoy!
I am not done changing, out on the run, changing. I may be old and I may be young, but I am not done changing. I met me someone changing. We had some fun changing. Sometimes I wonder who we will become when we are done changing. Some of us moved schools, then all of us stayed home. But some of us don't got one, so we'll build one of our own. Friends behind the fences, looking at me strange, wondering when I'm gonna come to my senses. But I'm still changing, and I don't know my way. See the world changing, reminds me of my changing. Wish I could tie me a rope round the sun, 'cause we are not done changing. Time's been talking to me, whispering in my ear, say follow your heart till it tears you apart. The world keeps changing, minds keep changing, hearts keep changing, hearts keep changing. We are not done changing, out on the run, changing. We may be old and we may be young, but we are not done changing, changing, changing.
Thank you, Muses. I always look forward to that, and this year in particular with the technological challenge, wow, great job. Next, allow me to introduce you to a student who has not only accomplished a rather impressive list of accomplishments in her years in high school, but also has a great attitude, a pleasant way about her, and is someone you're just glad to know. The class of 2020's valedictorian, Gina de Blasio.
Good evening, parents, teachers, administration, esteemed dignitaries, and fellow graduates of 2020. I think it's safe to say that our senior year did not exactly go the way we thought it would. I mean, it's not every day you get to say you graduated during a global pandemic. But this isn't the first time we've had hurdles thrown our way. And no, I'm not talking about the time you didn't do your science homework and had an all too close encounter with Miss Shraj. We have faced challenges since way back in 7th grade, when extracurriculars were canceled due to teacher strikes. I still remember being amazed at how the PC players put together their hilarious production of Don't Stop Believing with only a few months of rehearsal. Then, in 8th grade, when there were floods throughout Montreal, we rallied together to help our community, filling sandbags and organizing fundraisers. I'm sure many of us still recall making signs and walking out of our classes in 10th grade to protest against Bill 21, standing up for our beliefs. And I do not think any of us have forgotten when we found out that we would no longer be attending Pearfield Comprehensive or Riverdale. At the beginning of this school year, many of us felt anxious and uncertain about what this year might hold for us, as though we were little 7th graders starting high school all over again. One might have expected there to be hostility or division, but we took the change in stride. Within just a few weeks, we came together as a new community, the first graduating class of Pierrefonds Community High School. When we look back on our time in high school, that sense of community is exactly what we will remember. Though we will probably forget the countless hours spent studying and doing assignments, we will remember how our parents supported us, no matter how annoying we were, and still are. We will remember our teachers, who always found a way to keep class interesting, whether that meant jumping onto desks and bribing us with candy like Mr. Malawiu, or creating games to help us learn historical facts like Miss Clark. But above all, we will remember the friends we made and the valuable time we spent together. To my fellow graduates, I know many of us feel as though we were robbed of our final moments of high school. Despite how often we complain that graduation couldn't come soon enough, now that it's finally here, it all seems to feel a little incomplete. We did not get our last play, our last sports games, or even prom, but we cannot let that stop us from celebrating everything we have achieved over the past 5 years. Instead of thinking about what could have been, think about your future. In the next few years, we will have the chance to start fresh, deciding who we want to be and what we want our lives to look like. Though we did not get to do everything we had planned for this year, we have been given the unique opportunity to realize what we value most. Who have you missed the most? What did you realize you do not care about as much as you thought you did? What changes do you want to see in the world around you? We have learned not to take any moment for granted, because we have seen how quickly our lives can be changed completely. Keep that in mind as you begin your life as an adult. In the words of Henry S. Hankins, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Though we may not know what the next few years are going to look like, and we may not have our futures perfectly planned out, we have all faced uncertainty and adversity before. Those moments when we chose to face our challenges head on are what have defined us and made us into who we are today. So keep persevering, no matter how hard it may seem, because we have shown time and time again that no challenge is insurmountable. Class of 2020, congratulations!
It is my pleasure to introduce to you someone who has been a stellar example of how people contribute to their community, our guest speaker and PCHS alumna, Ms. Lori Graham.
Pierrefonds Community High School, to strive, to seek, to find. The name has changed a little since I graduated, but the motto is still the same, and I remember referring to it during my valedictory address years ago. I can't remember exactly what I said that day, but I do remember how I felt, and I'm sure you all will always remember how you feel on this day. Class of 2020, I'm sure when you entered high school 5 years ago, you made that realization that you would be the graduating class of 2020, and I'm sure that it had a really nice ring to it. But no one ever saw any of this coming, a global pandemic. And now here we are celebrating the class of 2020 in a virtual convocation for the first time ever. If this time has taught us anything, it's reminded us that sometimes we have very little control over what happens to us in life. But the one thing we can control is our response. how we choose to react to what life throws our way. We can choose to let things make us bitter, or we can choose to let them make us better. This pandemic has actually put a spotlight on one of the greatest qualities that you'll need to develop for success, and that is resilience, the ability to bounce back. Because sometimes in life we may succeed and sometimes we won't. Notice I didn't use the word fail, because you only fail when you stop trying. We have to stop thinking of failure and look at each and every experience as a unique opportunity to learn and grow. And sometimes our experiences teach us that we need to pivot to bounce back in a new direction. This pandemic has taught so many of us that lesson. It's taught us about resilience and the importance of creativity, learning to do things differently. We're even seeing that in the way we deliver news and programming. And it sounds like you all have had to overcome your own obstacles and challenges over the last 5 years to get to where you are today. And you know what? It's just the beginning. There will be more to come. And as you sit here today, you may be feeling excited about the future. And you may also be feeling a bit of fear. I know I certainly did on my graduation day. I had no idea what I was going to do with the rest of my life. And if you don't worry. It's okay. A little fear is normal. Just don't give in to it. Don't let it paralyze you. We all have fears. Fear of making mistakes, the fear of embarrassing ourselves, especially in this age of social media. And don't worry, you will from time to time. But it's not the worst thing that can happen. What's far worse is if that fear prevents you from trying at all. We've all heard that courage is action in spite of fear. Think of it this way: if you're not afraid, you can't be courageous. Because if you're not a little afraid, you don't need courage. But just embrace it, all of it, because this is your life and it goes by way too fast. To strive, to seek, to find. I remember when I was at PCHS thinking that motto related only to my career. But I have learned at the end of the day that it doesn't matter what career path you follow, whether you choose to be a doctor, a lawyer, a dancer, or a lyricist. What matters most is the character we build along the way. That we strive to be fair, that we stand up for what's right and try to live with integrity, that we seek to cultivate qualities like peace and patience, goodness and kindness. And then we will find that we have lived a life that we can be proud of. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Thank you, Lori. Your words are an inspiration not only to our graduates, but to our entire community. Thanks again.
Allow me to introduce Riverdale's former principal, our beloved Matt Canavan, Assistant Director of Educational Services at the Lester B. Pearson School Board. I would like to take this opportunity to salute and thank Mr. Canavan on behalf of Riverdale students and staff. Our final years at Riverdale were stressful and traumatic. Your leadership gave us the strength to get through the closure, remain committed to our students, and continue to always put their needs first.
Hello. While I have not met all of you, I remember many from Riverdale and also St. Charles. You are graduating at a time of great change. From a local perspective, you are the first graduating class of the combined communities of Pierrefonds Comprehensive High School and Riverdale High School. While I was not present to work through this change with you, I am sure it was filled with great challenges and great rewards. We're also experiencing change from a global perspective. We're dealing with a world pandemic that has affected us all in one way or another. We are also in a time where thousands of people around the world are standing up and demanding social and racial equity. You are living in very important times indeed. In the next years, you will be faced with academic, professional, and social decisions that will have major impacts on your life and on your community. The best advice I can give you is to remember what you believe in. The great thing about being in kindergarten was that the rules were simple. You may not always have followed them, but they were clear. As you get older, the rules get a little bit more complicated, but right and wrong always stay the same. Remember that integrity is what you do when nobody's looking. I would like to wish you success, that you make great new friends, and that you have wonderful life experiences. It is my pleasure to present the PCHS graduation class of 2020.
Thank you, Mr. Canavan. Thank you. The presentation of graduates celebrates and recognizes the achievements of our students. In order to be awarded honors, students must have achieved a minimum average of 80% in each of the first 2 terms, with no less than 70% in each subject of Secondary 5. In order to be awarded honors with distinction, students must have achieved a minimum average of 80% with no less than 70% in each subject in all terms from Secondary 1 through Secondary 5.
IBMYP indicates the completion of the International Baccalaureate Middle Years program. CFAIR indicates the completion of the Centre de Formation en Entreprise Récupération program. Academic awards as well as subject awards will be also announced at this time. All certificates, prizes, and other awards will be given at a later date.
Sherez Ahmad, honors. Tasia Allen Belgrave, honors. Tasia is a recipient of the Subject Award for Physical Education. Dionysios Ardamis, honors. Marcy Bailey. Rawa Belak. Stella Barcelou, IBMYP. Ryan Paderniak. Trey Boateng. Eric Boisvert. Kyle Bonente Meyers. Nicole Butcher Kleinman. Elias Boutopoulos. Celestine Bino. Cody Camara, honors. Alexandra Cassidy. Chloe Chapdelaine. Kyle Charette. Louis Chartier. Aisha Chowdhury. Alex Cheglov. Beifong Chen. Jihan Chen. Rachel Gina. Sarah Chin Sopora. Malik Collins Liebird. Keon Martin Hallwell Earl. Mia Cummings. Gianluca Curo. Hassan Dejani. Hassan is the recipient of the Subject Award for Drama. Melissa DeRail, IBMYP. Gersamar Desi, honors. Gina de Blasio, honors with distinction, IBMYP. Gina is an exceptional individual. This is evident to everyone around her as she is representing her class as valedictorian. Gina also receives recognition from the Société Saint-Jean-Baptiste for attaining 95% or higher on the provincial history exam. She also receives recognition for holding one of the 3 highest marks on her personal project. And on the behalf
of Her Excellency, the Right Honorable Julie Payette, is the recipient of the Governor General's Medal, first presented by the Earl of Dufferin in 1873, for achieving the highest overall average of 95.63%. Gina is the recipient of the subject awards for English IBMYP, Francais IBMYP, Financial Education IBMYP, Contemporary World IBMYP, Chemistry, and Physics too. Moreno Di Chiero. Massimo Di Pietro, Honors IBMYP. Matteo Garamio D'Amico, Honors. Nico Di Teodoro. Alexa Diab. Xavier Dorsney, Honors with Distinction. Xavier is not only hardworking, but compassionate and kind. He receives recognition as the recipient of the Lester B. Silver Medal for achieving the second best overall average of 95.25%. Xavier is also the recipient of the subject awards for English and Visual Arts. Matthew Dronfield, Sayfair. William Draycott, Honors with Distinction. William is the recipient of the subject award for photography. Tyler Dabrowski, IBMYP. Tyler receives recognition for holding one of the 3 highest marks on his personal project. Zachary Brendan Ehrenreich Dejean. Bilal El Bahir. Ryan Espinal Renda. Jenna Philadelphia. Luigi Forte, Honors IBMYP. Dalia Trabisile. Nathan Francis Eatman. Justin Gascon, Honors IBMYP. Philip Genest. Serena Giacomini. Eric Gonin, Honors. Sabrina Goriani, Honors. Sabrina is the recipient of the subject awards for Francais de Base, Leadership, and Contemporary World. Simon Goyech. Luca Graziani, Honors IBMYP. Kayla Greco. Kayla is the recipient of the subject award for Gourmet Cooking. Andrew Grice, Honors. Elias Haj Hamida. Hannah Louise Hansen. Owen Hort, Sayfair. Lorna Hu, Honors. Jason Hum. Aiden Hines. Aiden is the recipient of the subject award for Financial Education. Melissa Ibanez, Honors. Melissa is the recipient of the subject award for Drama. Amelia Ibera. Kayla Itzo. Rihanna Jalaluddin, IBMYP. Kiran Jahal. Tazika Josiah. Stavrula Karabinis, Honors. William Kelly. Samantha Kennedy, Honors. Samantha is the recipient of the subject award for Drama. Lauren Kayat, honors. Lauren is the recipient of the subject awards for Éthique et Culture Religieuse and Math, Cultural, Social, and Technical. Huda Fatima Khwaja. Huda is the recipient of the subject award for Psychology. Jaden King. Mia Kirkpatrick, honors, IBMYP. Mia receives recognition for holding one of the 3 highest marks on her personal project. Jordan Kerner, honors with distinction, IBMYP. Stephen Kochiu. Anna Kraut. Katarina Kunanek. Haley Landry. Rafi Latif. William Latimer. Kayla Lauren Lloyd. Patrick Lozon. Nadir Lawrence. Lily Leduc. Vanessa Lee, honors. Regratios Limontsis. Tyler Libertoscioli. Rachel Lynn.
Sarah Lipke. Emily Lloyd, honors. Erica Lompré. Kevin Lurenko. Tyrese Twain Lovelace Williams. Menahil Wakara Malhi, IBMYP. Trista Mallet. Liam Malali. Adam Marciniak, honors. Emma Mara, honors. Julian Martin, honors. Julian is the recipient of the subject award for woodworking. Evan Matthews. Riley McGlynn, Sayfair. Joaquin McKenzie. Logan Mendez. Alex Michakis, honors. Alex is the recipient of the subject award for biology. Matthew Mildor. AJ Mitchell. Dina Bendu Mohanlal. Jason Moyer. Mohammed Rusab Mohis. Fatima Mughal. Justin Nardone. Michael Neme, IBMYP. Kylie Pacheco. Jenny Grace Pakuldor Gandia. Navkran Paul. Pallavi Patel. Riya Patel, Shrina Patel, Sonali Patel, IBMYP, Sayuri Pillay Delaney, Michaela Pinto, Honors with Distinction, IBMYP. Michaela is a well-rounded student who excels in both the classroom as well as the sports field. She receives recognition as the recipient of the Lester B. Pearson Bronze Medal for achieving the third best overall average of 93.63%. Michaela is also the recipient of the Subject Award for Math, Science, and Visual Arts, IBMYP. Evan Polsak, Tyler Pouliot, Caitlin Pratt, Kaylin Prévost, Sabrina Kennel-Renier, Clay Rabinovich, Honors, IBMYP. Tanner Rabinovich, Honors, IBMYP. Lyndon Rayler, Ramtin Razavi, Abdul Suban Riasat, Caitlin Richard, Jonathan Rolansky, Ryan Ross, IBMYP. Sabrina Saad, Frédéric Sabourin, Honors. Julien Salois, Tabitha Santini Gomez, Youssef Saris, Shane Scardera, Sayfair, Bailey Shaw, Honors. Gurjap Singh, Justin Smith, Sayfair, Stacy Samoa, Brian Sosa, Ethan Stanley, Carlos Stephen, Max Stern, Honors with Distinction, IBMYP. Max is the recipient of the Subject Award for Forensic Science and Sports Administration. Jafia St. Louis, Amber Stutt, Sayfair, Sarah Stutt, Sayfair, Joshua Samsian, Rachel Susi, Valerie Syme, IBMYP. Valerie is the recipient of the Subject Award for Éthique et Culture Religieuse. Kenton Jr. Taylor Townsend, Sayfair. Harish Tanduyatam, Honors. Tyler Tiem. Cassandra Silimidos. Kellyanne Vautier, Tyra Velosa, Gabriel Ventrone, Honors. Joshua Versosa, Sayfair. Alfonso Vutsinos. Hong Ming Vu, Honors. Kimberly Wallace. Wuoxin Wong. James Ward. James is the recipient of the Subject Award for Physical Education. Michaela Weeks. Neo Wellman. Timothy Wiesner. Honors with distinction. Timothy is representing his class as Salutatorian. He is a creative and gregarious student who has fully been involved in school life. Josiah Williams. Jaden Williams Hogan, Sayfair. Jalin Wu, Honors. Jalin receives an award for achieving the highest mark amongst PCHS students and placing in the top 25% of Canada in the Fermat math competition. Xinyi Yao. Ashley Yee Johnson, Honors, IBMYP. Bo Ja Jaw. Adam Zimmerman. Ita Zordok.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first ever Pierrefonds Community High School class, the class of 2020.
Dear class of 2020, for most of my teaching career, I have taught grade 11 students. Over the years, I've always enjoyed the last weeks of school, where I got to know you better and have dialogues about your hopes and dreams for the future. This year, despite the circumstances, I am fortunate enough to be able to leave you with these few words. You're a resilient, adaptable, motivated, and determined bunch of students. As you have experienced already, the world can change rapidly. And with that, there will be many calls to action. Stand up to help others, help the planet, contribute, be a part of the positive changes in the world. With all my heart, I wish you all the very best.
Hello, graduates. So you're probably asking yourself right now, am I ready to graduate and face the real world? Well, as a scientist, I have some evidence that the answer to that question is yes. So listen to this. In 7th grade, what happened? Work to rule. Did you get through that? Yes. That's how the world showed up. You made new friends. 8th grade, we had a 100-year flood. The world showed up that way. Were you ready? Yes. 2 years later, we had a second 100-year flood. Were you ready for that? Yeah, you were bagging sand into bags and helping people in the community. Were you ready? Yes. And then Bill 21 showed up. Again, we rallied with our community and we were ready. The answer is yes. And then the big one. Closing of the 2 schools, closing Riverdale, losing a building. PCHS having all kinds of new people and losing teachers. Were you ready for that? Oof, well, that one hurt a little bit. But you came through that. And then in the snowstorm that kept all of the ski people at the ski building, were you ready for that? Yeah, we had no food. Ha, this group, forget about it. You just took all your food, threw it in a condo, and had a smorgasbord. That, my friends, is ready. COVID? Yeah, this is a tough one too, man. But I will tell you this thing. You are the most prepared and most ready class that we have ever seen. And that's the proof. You have done it, you have made it, and you are ready for the world. So I want to hear it. Are you ready? Yes. Say it again because here it comes. Are you ready? Yes. Heck yeah. Watch out, world. Here comes the class of 2020.